Hello, hello. Let's see. Chotomate, chotomate. Hope you're doing well. Let me get all sorted out here. Sorted out here. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Hope you're doing well. I'm Lolli Ppoppo. We are doing date night. Continuing. Surrounded by perverts. Hello. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a nice, either eventful or not eventful week, whatever you are wanting. I've had an eventful week, but nothing bad. Doing tired. Oh, yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya. I definitely had a moment this week where I just felt just a little bit fatigued, and not because of like, oh, you stayed up late and you're tired. I just felt like, I don't know if it's like an under the weather thing, but it was just kind of like, that's what it felt like. Yeah. But otherwise, all good. Yeah, my week was not bad. Not at all. My boss came back, and so had my one-on-one and just kind of caught up because there was some news. I went into the office today. Not because I wanted to, but there were free bagels, so I did get free bagels. And yeah. But on the real nice note, I got to meet up with some friends during lunch. And we went to a dumpling place that was really good. Everything was delicious. So, your boss also came back? Nice. I hope everything's all good with them. So, and you too. Alrighty, let me get sorted for the game. Let's see, given. Okay, here we go. Turn this sound source goes off. Okie doke. That one's on. Excellent. Okay. Let me see. I have concerns. Okay. Whew. Earlier, I had my second controller wasn't like reading, so I was scared that I maybe didn't fully charge it, but we'll see. He had a kidney stone. Oh no! That's no good. That does not sound fun. I've only had one friend who had a kidney stone, and they were not happy. Wait. Let me make sure I'm not mixing it up. Is there a kidney stone, and then is there like a gallbladder stone? Or is the gallbladder just gallbladder stone? Gallstones. Okay. Maybe I'm mixing it up then. They might have had gallstones. Gallstones versus kidney stones. All right, let's see. Two distinct types of stones that can form in the human body, which is crazy to think about. Yeah. The bodies are weird, man. I mean, they're miraculous and weird. All right. Gallstones are formed in the gallbladder from cholesterol, bile pigments, and calcium. Kidney stones are formed in the kidneys from minerals in the urine, such as calcium, oxalate, uric acid, and magnesium phosphate. Okay. Yeah, those sound terrible. Those sound no fun. Yeah. Forged, hello. I'm good. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. Yeah, exactly. Good thing our ghost boyfriendos don't have bodies to worry about those kinds of things. They had their own problems. They did have pre-problems, though. I mean, one of them had, or has, some kind of illness. So, jury's still out on Sena. If he's alive. All right. Oh, give me 1 second. I forgot one thing. 1 second. Forge doing well today. I'm so glad to hear that. Yay. Yay. Anything fun or interesting or just, you know, just a baseline good day? Yes. I'm back. I'm back. Lolli's back. All right. Just had to pull up my guide so I know how to play my game. All right. Just waiting for one thing to fire up and then I'm good. Sounds like maybe some people are in ads right now anyways, so. Phew! Phew! Let me think what else. I was talking about having dumplings with friends. That was delicious. The Ppoppo Street Pals. Carrie! You're here in spirit? I see what you did there. But in the meat space, you're in a work. Oh, I see, I see. Well, I hope you have fun at your work dinner thing. That's nice. I like when it's on the company's tab. Yeah, you have a good meal as well. Eat all the things. Get the most expensive thing and stuff it with the second most expensive thing. or just go by what everybody else is ordering. Look, I like free things, but I still, you know, definitely like read the room in terms of like not ordering anything ridiculous. It's like, oh, we're here for a lunch. It's like, I'll have 8 dishes to go, please. It's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Alrighty. Gusto. Gusto. Carrie. Oh, yay. Yes. Carrie, do you have a preference on boyfriend? Do you want flavor of the month boyfriendo as our visitor? Totally fine if you don't have a preference. Current host. Yay, yay. Okay, sounds good. So we've got Sena. Sena from 9 RIP, so he's going to stand with us. Let me move him a little closer here. Hello. Let's put him on this side since he's got his hand up. Like he's got his hand on my back. Like he's going to push me. Push. Don't push. Don't push. Okay. Last time, we were just like, oh, I hope our boyfriend crossed over. He said he would, and then we saw that he did not. So, but we did get our kiss. We got a kiss. Yeah. Would be awkward if we had Hibiki watching us while we romance Sena. That's true. It would be a little weird. Oh, another boyfriendo redeem. You got it. Hibiki too. You got it. I love it. I'm gonna make him smaller so that it looks like he's watching like from far away. Let me see. Or do I make him bigger? Do I make him bigger? Like he's a menace? maybe that's the way. That is the way. Sir. All right, your 10-minute timer starts now. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So we're like he's around still. So since my miraculous reunion with Sena, I replayed the moments over and over again in my head, and my heart filled with joy each time. Yes, a man on each arm. But his confession that he had feelings for me carried more than just excitement. He said he was both troubled and happy. Hearing him say that to me only made me feel filled with renewed resolve. I wanted to help Sena somehow. However, there was something else I had to do first. The next day, yeah, what I deserve. Thank you. A watchful eye. I was off from school the next day, but I still got up early and quickly left my house to visit the Tsukumo Shrine. The magatama I had received from the priest had turned black, and I went to apologize to him. I'm very sorry. I apologetically placed the magatama back in the priest's hand.
これは一体。
The truth is, yesterday I met someone very special. Then after I met him, I looked at the magatama and it became like this.
それは良かったですな。いや、渡してみたはいいが、会える確証はなかったのでほっとしました。
Wait a minute. You gave me this thing? He was like, oh, shoot, that worked? Oh my gosh. I'm certain it was all thanks to this stone. So thank you very much. After accepting my thanks, the priest gave me a small smile and nod. He said, sure. Okay. Crazy. I'll pray for you. That's what the priest was like. I'll pray for you. Pray that you ain't crazy no more, Lolli. You see, the thing is, I realize this is quite brazen of me to ask, but is there any way to restore its power?
おそらくだが、時間が経てば元の力を取り戻すじゃろう。
Shoot.
多分。
Okay. My right controller, I guess I did not snap it fully all the way in last time, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just plug it back in and just play it weird. I don't think it'll let me. Yeah. No. We'll just janky stream, not short stream. We'll make it work. Okay. When it says low battery, we'll see what they mean. We'll see. We'll go as far as we go. How much time does it normally take?
それははっきりとは分からんでの。若き頃のわしなら、あるいはできたやもしれんが。
He must have been quite strong when he was younger. Even when I was a living ghost, the priest seemed to be able to sense me. His power was clearly the real deal. I guess that means we just have to wait, huh?
まあ、そう肩を落としなさんな。お嬢さんについている霊は、今日も変わらず見守っておるぞ。
Oh, you mean he's here right now? Seeing the priest nod in response, I began looking around me. I knew I shouldn't be able to see him, but I still found myself looking for Sena anyway. Seeing me look around like that, the priest let out a troubled sigh.
わしもめっきり年を取った。あまり期待せずに待っていなさい。
With that, he went and retrieved a ceremonial staff often used for exorcisms. Asian guy, hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. We are just spending time with our boyfriendos. Last we left off, our boyfriendo on this side, this one who pointing at with my crown, we thought he crossed over, but he didn't. And so he revealed himself to us and gave us a kiss. So now we just gotta try and, bring him back to life? Join him in the afterlife? Some way. Reunite. It looks like he's here with us, though.
閣僚の神哀れみたまえ恵みたまえ愛縁起縁も縁なれば写しを隔離を隔て途切れたその縁し
Then, after raising his voice, he suddenly stopped and strained his ears to listen.
おう、なるほど。では確かに伝えるとしよ
う。Really? Did you hear him? Did you hear Sena's voice?
おう、しかと聞こえたぞ。こう言うておった。君の気持ちはありがたい。
That's it?
何やら他にも言うておるようだが、どうにも聞こえづらくての。
Oh. Babe, I couldn't hear him.
最近耳が遠くなっておってな。いや、年は取りたくないもんじゃ。
It doesn't really seem like being hard of hearing would apply to speaking with ghosts.
ん？ 鏡とな。
Ooh. Hey, you guys picked it out. Who would have thought that we would have gone back to the mirror with Hibiki? That's so funny. A mirror?
鏡のところへとかすかに聞こえた気がするんだが。
If he really did say mirror, then there was only one place I could think of that made sense. Thank you very much. With his prayer complete, I bowed deeply and began to run. Give us a donation! This shrine doesn't run itself! One day, when the school was closed, I silently walked up the staircase filled with hope. I'm here. I stared at the large mirror on the landing. The mirror Sena mentioned, this has to be the one. I took a deep breath, swallowing hard, then spoke with a trembling voice. Sena? Surprise! Hibiki? My words were laced with hope, a prayer, and as I gently touched the mirror, I felt like I was touching the surface of water. My hands sunk into the mirror. And then I was kidnapped, spirited away. Instantly, my entire body was inside, swallowed by the mirror. The world flipped upside down. A strange sensation enveloped me. The scene that unfolded before me left me without words. Lit by shining blue light, the floor danced in front of me. It was the same as the place where I had just been, but reversed. This is...
鏡の中の世界。写しよでもなく、隠りよでもない。すべてが反転した世界だよ。
That voice.
久しぶり。
Hibiki imprisoned me in the mirror, help!
いい意味でも、悪い意味でも。また会えるとは思わなかったよ。
Sena! Standing there, staring back at me with a bitter smile on his face was the one I was looking for.
参ったな。僕を忘れてって言ったでしょ。って、第一声から小言の一つも言ってやろうと思ってたのに。君とこうして直接会ったら、全部頭から吹っ飛んじゃったよ。
I feel the same way. There's so much I want to tell you, but I'm not sure how. It was proof that everything I'd felt and experienced these past few days wasn't a lie. Standing right in front of me with a faint smile was Sena, unchanged from when I'd last seen him. Holding back the tears that were welling up in my eyes, I bowed deeply to him. I'm so sorry, Sena. I'd finally made it back to the real world, only to come back and meet you here like this.
謝らなくていいんだよ。君に忘れてほしいって願う反面、僕も君に会いたいと願ってた。そんな僕の弱さが君を呼んでしまったんだろうから。
And now I gotcha! A self-deprecating smile took over his face before his eyes met mine.
一つ聞かせてくれる？どうして僕に会いに来たの？
That's your 10-minute timer. Thank you so much for the redemption. Bye-bye, boyfriends. At least they're on the screen now, so... They just had to shepherd me here to the mirror.
僕のことを忘れた方がずっと楽だったはずなのに。
It's too late for that. I've already decided I want to help you. I'm too worried about you becoming an evil spirit. I can't just stand by and do nothing.
つまり、ただ心配で来てくれたんだ。ふん。それはありがとう。
I could tell that his words of gratitude were laced with disappointment. Not knowing the reason for his displeasure, I merely blinked back at him. Why are you so upset?
だってそんな必死になって泣きそうな顔で来てくれたのに。理由が心配だったからって、ちょっと残念だと思って。もっと違う理由を期待するの、いけないことかな。
No, the real reason. Is that how I I truly feel? As he peered into my face, I just wanted to see you. I'm sorry.
なんで謝るの？
Knowing I was defeated, Sena brought his face closer to mine.
何を悪いと思ったの？
His nose gently grazed against mine. We were close enough that our lips nearly touched.
悪いと思ったのなら、本当の気持ち、言えるよね。
I just wanted to see you. Under the immense pressure of the situation, I blurted out my true feelings. Kiss, 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 kiss.
ありがとう。というかごめんね。僕も久々に会えたのが嬉しくて、ちょっといじめすぎちゃった。
Yeah, bro. In an attempt to comfort me, Sena's hand reached toward my head. Sadly, his hand passed right through me, grasping the air.
はは、やっぱりダメか。ここならワンチャンあるかと思ってたんだけどな。
As Sena spoke, he reached out toward the staircase handrail. But just like with me, his hand passed right through it. Okay, maybe he is ghostly, I don't know. Even in Hibiki's mirror world, he can't touch anything. You mentioned the world in the mirror earlier. What is it exactly?
そのままだよ。ここは響くんだけの世界。この世でもあの世でもない狭間。だから僕と君がこうしてお互いを認識することができるんだ。
Oh, okay. They're roommates now. No. But what if eventually Hibiki's like, it's getting annoying that you guys always meet up here and make out, and I just gotta watch. Now I'm gonna trap you here forever. Then Sena told me about the conversation he had with Hibiki.
鏡の世界？
And there was only one bed. Oh no!
はい。ここは僕だけの世界で、僕の許可がないと入れない特別な空間なんです。
Sena's like, he makes me dance for him every night.
写しよでも隠りよでもない曖昧な世界なので、この中なら聖者と死者でも会えるんじゃないかなって。
大事な場所なんだよね。本当に待ち合わせに使っていいの？
僕も迷ったんです。でも彼女すごく必死だったから会わせてあげたいって思ったんです。今のが僕の本心だって覚えておいてください。どうか気をつけて。
気をつけるって？
僕にです。
Hibiki's like, I want to marry you too, Sena. And this game has now morphed into a boys' love. Huh?
ごめんなさい。不安にさせてしまうかもなんですけど、今から言うことをよく覚えておいてください。
I'm not trying to murder, just sometimes I murder. Ghost polyamory, yes.
僕は彼女の聖者のぬくもりを感じてから自分の中にある欲が生まれてしまったんです。あのぬくもりをずっと感じていたいっていう。もちろんその欲に抗うつもりでいるんですけど、もしかしたら彼女を襲うかもしれません。
Polygeist, yes, that's the better one.
だからあまり長いはしないでください。どれくらい自分を抑えられるかわからないですから。
He felt my warmth? I couldn't remember touching Hibiki, and more than anything else, I can't imagine Hibiki attacking me. That's unthinkable. He was always so kind and friendly when we spoke before.
あの時とは状況が違うんだ。以前の君は生き量だったけど、今の君は生きている存在。僕たち死者がいくら望んでも 決して手に入らないもの。ましてや響くんは僕よりはるかに長くこの地に縛られていた霊だから。
Okay, that's how you grew up? In the mirror? Wait, which one? In the mirror world?
永遠に続く暗闇の中で手の届く場所に灯った温かい光が
Yeah.
どれだけ死者を狂わせると思う？
Questionable. Questionable. Hey, Vicky's a wild card. I'm kind of scared to see some of the bad ending. Like, so we haven't gotten any bad. We've been pursuing the best ending for each playthrough, but there are bad endings, so it's kind of worrisome. A shudder ran through me as I hurriedly looked around at my surroundings. And where is Hibiki now?
鏡の世界にいるのは確かだよ。ただできるだけ離れてくれてる。君を直接見てしまえば耐えられなくなるからって。
Just from seeing me? A chill ran down my spine as I worried about what could be behind me. In response, Sena flashed me a troubled smile. Tatsuo, happy birthday! Happy birthday! Yes, indeed. How was it? I'm sorry I didn't get to say happy birthday on your birthday proper. But I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope you ate some good food and spent time with the people you wanted to. Did the things that you wanted to. So, yay! Green Yoshi, hello! Yes, happy birthday! Woo! So glad to hear. Also, hi! Y'all haven't missed too much. Let's see. We met up. We went to the shrine and the priest was like, yo, something's with you. It says meet in the mirror. So now we are in the mirror with Sena, and Hibiki has expressed that he's going to stay far away because he doesn't know what'll happen if he sees me. Yeah, it was good. I'm so glad, Tatsuo. Yay!
脅すようなこと言ってごめんね。でも分かってほしかったんだ。聖者が死者の世界に触れることにどれだけのリスクがあるのかって。
It's still weird though that like Sena isn't acting all crazy the way Hibiki does. But I mean, I understand Hibiki's a very special snowflake. But your family that you live with just celebrated with you today. Oh, yay! Yay! Something fun? Right, I understand.
でもとりあえずは安心して。僕たちが会話するぐらいの間は持つって言ってたから。
Because they all came today? Oh, I see, I see. As it turns out, dying is a pretty traumatic experience. Seems like.
それに何かあっても僕が守り、こう見えても鍛えてたから結構いい動きできるからね。
He's like, yeah, I'm getting so buff. I hope I don't become a wraith. Because then I'm gonna murder you. Real fast, though. That's reassuring. Thank you. In that case, I guess that means we don't have a lot of time to talk. Let's just make out then.
うん。本当はもっとリスクの少ない形で話ができればよかったんだけど、リスクを受け入れてでもどうしても君に伝えたいことがあって。
Okay. And thank you for doing all this for me. Sena smiled at my words.
とりあえず少し移動しようか。鏡からは離れた方が良さそうだし。
Sena nodded slightly before walking away, leading me deeper into the school. It's a trap! He took me to a second location, and then he murdered me. I knew there was nobody there, but I couldn't help but feel as though we were being watched. Filled with such an eerie sense of foreboding, I walked down the mirrored corridor. We stopped in the cafeteria, which was cast in a strange bluish glow.
いやー、なんていうか 食欲がなくなる色だよね。
Agreed.
でもちょっと懐かしいな。学校に通ってた頃はここでよく紅葉とランチ食べてたし。
We don't have to talk. We can play checkers to pass the time. That's right. You said before that you graduated from here.
うん。君からすると少しだけ先輩になるのかな。
Funny, I can't really picture you in high school, Sena. I feel like you were an idol from the time you were born or something.
まさか。当時はアイドルを夢見るだけのどこにでもいる高校生だったよ。
He must have felt like reminiscing because he sat down on a nearby chair as a small smile crept onto his face. His eyes narrowed as he began to speak. I believe we touched on this before. That's because I was grown in a lab to be an idol. That is because I am a human. About how I came to find joy in singing in front of others? Kolya was the one who suggested I start uploading videos of me singing to social media. As you can imagine, the first ones were terrible. The number of views were in the double digits. I was thrilled if the video reached 3. The comments were always about what a terrible dancer I was. Of course, every time I posted a new video, I thought about quitting, but then I would remember how much I enjoyed singing for others, and so I kept going. I learned that even if you're bad at something, if you keep going, it will eventually take shape. Then, I learned how to edit my videos. I started going to dance classes weekly. I did vocal training every day. The truth is, it wasn't some overnight success where the videos started blowing up or anything like that. You know how people complain that pop idols are manufactured and artificial? Well, that's a transformer, but that's fine. All I did was keep uploading videos every week for over 3 years. Well, now it's the other controller. Oops. The going was slow, but eventually I started to get better reactions and comments. Before I knew it, singing and uploading my songs became a part of who I was. That's when it happened. I received a message from an agency that said they were interested in my singing. I didn't question it. I was just so happy. Happy that someone had seen me. Happy that I would have the chance to have even more people see me. I immediately responded with 2 messages, and from there, my life changed. After joining the agency, I went through some really difficult times putting in my dues. I spent time as a backup dancer, and when I finally debuted, I had to fight to be in the center position. But I loved every minute of it. Being under the spotlight, seeing everyone's hands wave in unison, I had no doubt in my mind that moments like those would continue. Then, before I knew it, people began talking about us as a national level idols. We were going to do a nationwide tour, but then I collapsed. I wasn't sleeping much then, being on such a tight schedule. At first, I thought I had merely overworked myself. I thought it would actually be a good opportunity to rest up and get ready for the tour. But the truth was much more cruel.
治らない。
Oh.
心臓の病気で血液の循環が滞ってしまっていて。
待ってください。僕はもうステージに立てないんですか？
My body had been taken over by a disease. It was as though nothing could be done. From the day I found out, my health got worse and worse. When it was announced I would begin treatment, the other members continued to work. I couldn't walk. I could barely even talk. Just looking at the well-wishing letters from my fans filled me with pain. All I could do was lay there, staring up at stars blurred by the city lights from my hospital bed. Oh. And finally, that day came. The last day of the tour. They had done the whole thing without me. I dully watched the whole thing live on TV from my hospital bed. We'll wait for Sena until he's well enough to return. Hearing my fellow band members say those words, bathed in the sparkling spotlight, I dragged my supposedly immobile body from the hospital bed and escaped. Oh, poor baby. Then, under the stars at Beachfront Park, as the multitude of fans watched the other members of S Crown on stage, I collapsed there on the grass, without a soul to see me fall.
僕は誰だ
My cheeks were hollow, my body emaciated. I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance. I wasn't the Sena that people knew anymore.
誰か答えて
Oh, thanks for letting me know that. Appreciate that. Let me see what I can do. Let me turn that down a teeny tiny bit and then turn this up a teeny tiny bit. Okay, thank you. I lay there, in the place where Koyo and I shared our dreams with one another.
僕を見て
But nobody did. Then I drew in my last breath. Yo, what's up with hospital security? Just let anybody leave?
「これで僕の物語はおしまい」
Oh my gosh, my poor baby.
誰にも話す気はなかったけど君には知っておいてほしかった
Seeing Sena stare back at me so sadly, I couldn't find the words to express my feelings. Yeah, they don't get paid enough to keep them in. Oh. All I could do was sob as I felt Sena futilely try to stroke my back with his hand.
ごめんね泣かせる気はなかったんだ
But I felt like I finally understood. Even though Sena had regained his memories, I understood why he wasn't able to cross over. Without a doubt, Sena, you still want to dream, don't you?
そうこの後に及んでいまだに僕は夢を諦めきれていないんだ
To be a top-class idol, to stand on stage again, to tour the country with his group, he couldn't do any of those things anymore. He was trapped in this world because of all those unfulfilled dreams. It was a future that was all but assured, a dream just within his grasp. He couldn't accept that all these things were suddenly taken away from him.
僕は夢を見ていたいたとえ聖者でなくなっても
Yeah, you don't know what laws Japan has about hospitals having to keep patients who choose to leave when they aren't healthy.
だからもう気にしないで僕はまだしばらく幽霊としてとどまり続けるからそんな顔しないで僕は別に不幸なわけじゃないんだから
I've recruited Hibiki as part of my boy band. We're starting a new boy band. Kureha's gonna be in it. Oopsie. Sorry. Dropped my phone. Let me pick that up. Nope. It was just at the edge of my desk. So.
全部伝えたらすっきりしたこんなことなら最初から全部打ち明ければよかったね
Seeing him stand up quickly, I knew it was Sena's way of telling me the conversation was over.
もう僕を追わないで君は君の人生を生きるんだ
I'll be the manager. Do not ask about the ethics of the fact that I'm dating the whole band.
そうでないと僕は心残りが増えちゃいそうだから
Sena's hand gently touched my cheek. Of course, I couldn't feel his touch. If they let the clock keep running, you'll be in about 20 seconds? But still, I thought I felt the slightest warmth. Perhaps it was only my imagination.
もう僕のことは忘れて。
It's not enough for me to be apart from you. I have to forget you too?
その方が君のためだよ。
In response to his cruel words. You mean it's better for you? Or there's no way I could forget you. There's no way I could forget you. Impossible. If I could forget about you, I would have already. I spat the words back at him. So I can't do that. I'm always going to think about you. I looked for you. I searched.
それ以上言わないで。そんなことを聞いたら君への思いが溢れてしまう。
Let it. Let it consume you.
君と共にある未来を願って。
Woo! Sena's hand, which had been touching my cheek, slid down until he wrapped his fingers around my neck and quietly twisted his lips.
君を殺してしまうかもしれない。
Ooh. Is he secret? Is he secret Yandere? We got Yandere 2.0. His a little bit of Hibiki is rubbed off on him. Just then, I felt eyes on my back. Sena and I quickly jumped back to our senses, and I quickly turned around. What is it? Nobody was supposed to be there. I mean, what? Yet I felt the stare of someone creeping ever closer to us.
少しのんびりしすぎたかな。
Then that thing is...
響くんだよ。
Oh no, is Hibiki gonna be a wraith in this playthrough? No. Sena went to grab my hand so we could make a run for it, but... His hand slipped through mine. For a moment, he looked terribly sad.
癖って抜けないよね。僕についてきて。
Just run through this wall. We might not be able to hold hands, but I know what you were trying to tell me. Just having you by my side makes me feel better.
ありがとう。
I trailed behind Sena without staying too far as he started walking. Yee. Feeling Hibiki's presence slowly approaching, we left the cafeteria quickly. As we ran down the halls, I occasionally looked back at her. What is it, Sena?
あ、うん。ちゃんとついてきてるかなと思って。
If Hibiki really did catch up to us, I was sure that something terrible would happen. And yet, despite all that, I felt my lips curling into a smile before I hastily tightened them down. I'm terrible. Being able to talk with Lolli like this, being able to be seen by her like this, it makes me happy. After Lolli woke up and returned to the world of the living, I went to see her every day. I even tried to talk to her. Of course, my words never reached her. I would smile at her, but she couldn't see me. Whenever she seemed lost, there was nothing I could do to console her. All I could do was look on. But she didn't need words to tell me why she was lost. I already knew. She couldn't forget about me. When she screamed those words, her face had the same lost look I'd seen before. This is really bad. I can't believe I made her worry about me. I'd caused her pain, I'd caused her sadness. But the fact that it made me happy filled me with fear. She thought about me, searched for me. It makes me love her even more. Lolli, I don't want to let you go back. I did my best to shake those thoughts away. I want her to go back to the real world. I want to let her find her own happy life. That feeling wasn't a lie. I just wasn't sure how much longer I could keep that feeling, or keep feeling that way. Dang, it is Yandere 2.0. Is it the influence of Hibiki? Or was he always like this? I looked to Sena's back to give me directions as we walked through the eerily quiet hallway. I turned around to look behind me many times. Then I let out a small breath.
気をつけて。彼は耳がいいみたいだから。
He shows up in our face and goes, Surprise! Carrie, you're free! Yay! Yay, yay, yay! I hope you had fun at your work dinner. I hope they fed you well. Yeah, fed you good things. And that you had to pay $0. You mean he can hear me?
うん。本人がそう言っていてね。些細な音でも聞こえてしまうって。
Fun and free. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Were they doing something nice to celebrate? Like some big thing that y'all did, or just a just a nice thing from time to time to appreciate the employees? And you don't have to disclose anything you don't want to, but first football game of the season. Oh, I see. I'll be careful. Following close behind Sena, I did my best to walk silently. I want to get out of here as soon as possible, but I know this will be the last time I can talk to Sena like this. I gently reached out my hand to touch his back, and of course my hand slipped through him. Yeah, did your team win the sports ball? Did your team sports harder? I knew that would happen, but just in case, I found myself reaching out for him over and over again. Eventually, we arrived at the landing where the mirror was. I never knew this mirror world existed so close to my own. We made it!
そのまま隠れて。
Football? F-U-T ball? Sena seemed unsettled, and for a moment, I stared at the upper landing of the stairs. Then, why is this like a horror playthrough? Suddenly, a dark presence came rushing up from below the stairs. Also very funny, but one of your coworkers found out you're trans for the first time and immediately looked at your chest, and you've never felt so instantly affirmed. Well, I'm glad that you were okay with it, and and yay. Well, I hope that that they received you warmly, and yeah. You go, Carrie. Nice. Football, soccer is the posh name for the sport, but you're American.
落ち着いて。まだ僕たちは鏡には映ってない。音を拾われないように、ここで静かにやり過ごそう。
I couldn't even nod back to Sena. My body was frozen with fear. If I took even one step down the stairs, waiting for me would be... As my body shook with terror, I heard a voice mutter from below the stairs.
いけないのに。どうしても。もう一度。触れたい。
Yeah, it's fine. You really haven't developed, yeah, okay, at all, other than how, yeah. Now they hurt all the time. Okay, some growing pains. Oh no, Hibiki's gonna murder
あと
us.
一度だけ。そうだ。一度くらいなら。いいよね。寂しさが温まるくらいだけなら。
He wants to touch? I couldn't quite make out what he was saying, but Sena waved his hand in front of me, gesturing towards the corridor. It's okay. Don't be afraid. Let's step away from here for now. Sensing such words in his gestures, we quietly left the place. Making sure there were no mirrors, I let out a sigh as we entered the classroom. My hands, they're still shaking. Resisting the urge to sit down, I asked Sena a question. Just now, below the stairs, that was Hibiki, right?
そうだね。声からすると間違いない。
I don't mind, Carrie. I appreciate you sharing with me. Yeah.
うん。
Oops, I
君を返す気はない
forgot to
って
read.
ことなんだと思う。
Let's see, the fact that he was in front of the mirror that is supposed to connect to the real world. Yeah, he says he doesn't want us to go back. Why would Hibiki do that? I wrapped my arms around myself to try to stop shaking. I couldn't believe the shy Hibiki I'd met before would do something like that. Yet, the eerie sound of his voice was enough to convince me. I never thought the story of the boy dragging people through the mirror was true, but Sena merely shook his head with a thoughtful expression on his face.
響くん自身が言ってたけど、聖者を無理やりに引きずり込む力はないんだって。
Like it's already... They gave you the longest of island ice days. I see. I see.
今回は君と僕、お互いに会いたいっていう願いがあった。うまく思いが引き合ったなら、聖者の君でも入ってこれるかもって話してたよ。
I see. It's what happened, so I guess it makes sense. Honestly, I didn't totally understand. Since I was able to come here, I guess that must be correct, but it's a bit surprising. Yeah, she's inebriated, now we can interrogate her. Tell us your secrets. Only if you want to. Tell us your consensual secrets, yes. So, after I returned to the mortal realm, you and Hibiki kept in touch?
君、放課後に鏡に語りかけてたでしょ。それを眺めているときに、よく二人で話をしてた。
You have none. That's not a bad way to live. Then you don't have to keep any stories straight. You just get to live authentically your truth. So, so does that mean you were watching me? Only when you sleep and in the shower, don't worry. Sena stopped suddenly. His eyes shifted back and forth, and he began to fidget with his hands. Eventually, he cracked a small smile.
ところで、昨今の経済情勢だけど。
Hey, man. Don't try to change the topic. In response to my continued questioning, Sena got even more flustered and began speaking incoherently. Oh, I see. Gary, I didn't realize that. I have a Mormon story. I don't think it's not a, it's not anything crazy, but it was just a different expectation, I suppose. So I had a friend who, let's see. I had a friend who was just like, oh, you should, like, we had a mutual friend that was just like, oh, they're moving, and so our church is throwing him like a goodbye party. And I was like, oh, that sounds nice, and for their like youth night or something. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Well, I hope for the best. And it's like, oh, you could come if you like. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And they were just like, oh, it's totally cool. I just wear jeans and a t-shirt. Like, it's super laid back on youth night. And I was like, okay. So I came, and then we walked into the building. And then he goes, oh, they separate the boys from the girls. And I was like, brr? I got tricked. It was a bait and switch. And so because they were, yeah. So luckily, the person who was moving, his, I guess we'll say girlfriend, was in the girl group with me, the honeybee group with me. And so she was just like, hi, you're here. And I was like, yeah, I was under the impression that there was a going away party. And she was like, oh, she was like, well, we could go. And so she like walked out with me, and it was interesting. And there was no party. It was like the four of us just hanging out. And it's like, they just let you do this here? Just unattended. Like it seemed, it's like if you had the ability to be unattended the whole time, what was everyone doing? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting. They do that a lot. I have very, very limited data points about it, but yeah. Wait, after I went back, were you watching me?
たまたまだよ。君のことが気になった時に、たまに様子を見に行
They're
っただ
supposed to
け。
be attended, but it sounds like they just left. Yeah. You once watched a play that was performed by a Mormon church. Was it the Great Book of Mormon? No, wait, no. That's very different. That's the South Park guys, right? Right? Yeah. Bait and switch is very common. Yeah. I definitely had a sense of saltiness. I was like, hey. Don't call this a going away party. You're going away, Lolli. Bye. How often is a little bit?
一日に8時間くらい。
No, he was watching me for 8 hours a day like a full-time job, yo.
もちろん自宅とかプライベートな空間には入ってないから。怖いとか気持ち悪いとか思わないで。
Please don't be creeped out. It's like, it makes it more creepy when you tell me not to be creeped out. You remember thinking the play was not very good, and there was some Wi-Fi nearby that was named The Eyes of Satan's Butthole. Wow. It's my, so Tatsuo, yeah, I'm getting little notifications because I guess I had my Switch in my dock, but it might not have been sitting all the way, so it looks like my controller didn't fully charge. So I'm just hanging on by a thread. We're trying to get through as much as we can before the game is like, cannot move. Sorry. So yeah. Sena pleaded with me, looking like he was going to cry. Seeing him like that cleared all my fears away, and I nodded at him with a very wry smile. Of course I wouldn't think that about you. Besides, I was always thinking about you too, Sena. It's a little embarrassing for me to admit, but it actually makes me feel kind of happy.
嬉しい。監視されてたのか？
No, sir. No, not like that. I mean, it's like you were watching over me. But it's not like I want you chasing me or spying on me, though. Seeing me turn bright red and shout, Sena's lips contorted into a grimace. Then he placed his finger over my lips.
Shh. 騒いだら危ないよ。
Sorry.
ま、僕としては顔を真っ赤にした可愛い君を見られて得した気分なんだけどね。こうしてすり抜けてなかったら唇で静かにさせるっていうのもありだったかもしれないけど、こういうことを考えるたびどうしても思っちゃうんだ。
Speaking of Mormonism, Sena's watching us in our sleep like Edward Cullen.
君を元の世界になんて返さなきゃよかったって。
Was Edward Cullen a Mormon? Sena?
ひょっとしたら響くんよりずっと僕の方が怖い相手かもしれないね。
Sena spoke with a sarcastic smile. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Oh, Stephanie Meyer's a Mormon. Oh, I didn't realize that.
同じ？
Sena looked at me doubtfully, but I nodded and spoke softly to him. I know I shouldn't think this way, but there are times when I wish I could go back to being a living ghost. Touching you, laughing with you, we were able to spend time together. Sena's shoulders trembled. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, trying to say something. But in the end, he said nothing and just shook his head. That's why she thinks hot pants are khakis? Oh, interesting.
僕もどうかしてるな。嬉しいって思っちゃうなんて。ちょっと話を戻そうか。
Sena exhaled lightly, a bitter smile still on his face.
君が鏡に問いかけてた時さ。
Yes. Were you in the mirror at that time?
うん。響くんに入れてもらってね。そこで君の話をしてたんだけど、あの時君が鏡に触れた瞬間、響くんは明らかに様子がおかしくなったんだ。
Ah. From this side of the mirror, I laid my hand on top of yours.
まさか聖者のぬくもりを感じられるなんて。なんて心地いいんだろう。
He began laughing. It was as though something in him went mad.
響くん？
今のは少しぼーっとしちゃって。
そこから先はさっきも言った通りだよ。君をこの世界に連れてくれば話ができるかもしれない。
Why did he act like that? Sena, I know it's wrong of me to think this, but do you think he brought up the possibility of us being able to talk here together as some kind of trap?
どうだろうね。彼を疑いたくはないけど。
Right. Sorry, I shouldn't have even said it.
いや、意図はどうあれ、今彼がおかしいのは確かだよ。君の疑念は当然だと思う。
I nodded lightly in response to Sena's words, and I tilted my head in thought. But suppose he really did want to drag me into this world. What could Hibiki's goal be?
彼が口にしていた言葉通りなら、おそらく君のぬくもりだろうね。僕なんかよりはるかに長い間、人とも霊とも遠ざかっていた彼には、君に触れたぬくもりが鮮烈すぎた。だから君をこの世界に捉えたい。たとえ君がそれで死んでもね。
If I were to die, my warmth would be gone forever.
響くんの考えは異常だけど、僕には彼を責める資格なんてない。だって僕も少なからず君を元の世界に戻したくないって。
I couldn't bring myself to say it wasn't true. Sena's face was full of sadness, and yet he refused to look away from me.
君と共にいたいって気持ちは僕の中でどんどん膨れ上がってる。自分でも制御できないぐらい。
Ooh, that's kind of suggestive. I know they don't mean it that way, but I just have dirty mind, dirty
だから
mind.
僕がおかしければ君は迷わず僕からも逃げて、そして来た時のようにうつしおへ戻るんだ。
It wasn't a question. It wasn't a request. It was merely an affirmation of what needed to be done.
僕の人生は夢を叶えるのに必死で、他のものは後回しだったからさ。君に会って、君に惹かれて、恋をしたのは初めてだった。だからなのか、執着心がすごくてさ。 自分でも引いちゃうくらい。写し世に戻った後、一つだけ許してほしいことがあるんだ。君の様子をたまに見に行くこと。君にとっては気持ち悪いかもだけど。
Sena spoke to me with a gentle look on his face, but I cast my gaze to the floor. That isn't fair, Sena. I don't get to touch you. I don't even get to look at you.
紅葉にも言われたよ。案外ちゃっかりしてるなって。
Oh, shoot! Shoot! Alright. Oh, man. See. The right battery's depleted. Okay, I've got it in the dock. I don't know if I can, like, you know, you just, like, kind of slightly charge it for, like, 10 seconds and it's, like, got... But I can't, like, play it from it being docked. CH8. Okay, okay. I think I got enough juice. Enough juice. To at least finish this chapter. Sena gave a little chuckle and then checked our surroundings again.
そのためにはまず、響くんの目をかいくぐって、外に出ないとだね。
When I heard him say that, I don't want to go back. Our right arm suddenly goes limp in the middle of the Sena route and it completely changes the story. I knew I had to get out of this dangerous place, and yet I knew that if I returned back to my world, I wouldn't be able to talk with Sena again. I want to be with Sena.
そんな顔しないでよ。理性を保てなくなる。
I'm sorry. Just then, Sena covered my mouth with his hand, which caused me to suddenly stop. I felt my fears rising with his stern expression. Could it be? Stay here, he whispered in my ear, and I nodded. Then Sena left the room. From the hall, I heard the two of them talking.
セナさん、彼女はどこですか？そろそろ帰ってもらおうと思って探してたんですけど見つからなくて。
His voice sounded the same. It was like the Hibiki I'd talked to before, yet it seemed almost too calm, which only made me feel even more scared.
遅くなると困るからね。もう先に帰ってもらったんだ。会う機会を作ってくれてありがとう。感謝してるよ、響くん。
The silence hurt my ears. The fact that I couldn't see his face only made it more frightening. I had no idea how Hibiki had taken the answer Sena had given him.
僕もそろそろうつしおに帰るよ。公園にファンの子たちが会いに来てくれてるかもしれないからね。ああ、そうだ。ついでに、響くんも公園まで散歩しようよ。引きこもりなのは知ってるけど、知り合いと一緒なら安心でしょ。お礼に歌も聴かせたいし。
Yes, sweet talk him with your words. Sena. He's doing an excellent job of trying to pull Hibiki away from me. I gulped and prepared myself to leave at any moment. Still, I was scared by the prospect of trying to flee here by myself. At the same time, I didn't want to waste the chance Sena had made for me.
そうですね。それはとても魅力的な誘いです。
Watch, this is how Hibiki makes sure Sena dies for real this time. This is one of the creepier routes, I gotta say. Or like this is a turn, sure.
でも、残念ながらお断りします。気になることがありますから。彼女、そこにいますよね。
Slowly, ever so slowly, slender fingers began sliding through the door. No! 5 fingers, then a wrist, then an arm. Finally, long black hair and a slumped head. Entering the door in that order, I found myself frozen in complete and total terror. With only his hands and neck peeking through the door, he turned slowly to face me. Oh my gosh!
見つけた
Eee! We're getting it. Ay, and the battery depleted. Wow. Wow. Holy moly, y'all. All right. Is that okay? We'll just read this one line, but I can't advance it because my controller's dead. But his eyes stared at me with a dazed yet fiery glow. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't believe it. Look, we all knew that Hibiki was a little weird, but I didn't know he was going to be like straight up like bad guy in a route. You know what I mean? Aww. Oh man. Time to get on a bike and generator. Generator, but I hardly know her. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that happened. Exactly. It's like, oh no. Oh no. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me tonight. We did it. Yeah. I know. We got to stop here. Cliffhanger, stinking batteries, but we've been doing one chapter at a time anyways. But that just means next week is going to be the finale for this playthrough. This will be the last one. So hopefully it'll go well. Yeah. What a bummer. Yeah. Will they make it? Will they live? Dun, dun, dun. So, yeah, are we on the good route? Have I been doing this correctly? I don't know now. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I hope you'll have a really good rest of your night. Yeah, bye-bye. My next stream will be tomorrow. I'll be on Iriam for Study Buddies Lunch, Japanese. So, yes. Next up, Kindred Spirits on the roof. Yeah. Yay! But thank y'all so much. Have a really, really good night. Okay, bye-bye.